Welcome to Millennium News Hour. Eid Mubarak to all of the viewers of Millennium News 24. I am Tanzeeba Naurin. In today's bulletin, we will present top and trending news from across the nation and the world. Let's begin with the headlines of the day. Time to recommit to work of building peace. President Joe Biden raises Gaza-Sudan conflicts in Eid message. Biden says Israel's Netanyahu making mistake on Gaza. Ex-Trump CFO Weisselberg gets 5 months in jail for perjury at fraud trial. US arms Ukraine with thousands of seized Iranian guns, rifles and munitions. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis privately tells donors he plans to fundraise for Trump. Biden says he is considering Australia's request to end Julian Assange's prosecution. Trump says Arizona abortion ruling went too far. Muslims worldwide celebrate Eid al-Fitr in the shadow of Gaza's misery. Israel bombs Gaza on saddest Eid day. Nobel-winning God particle physicist Higgs dies aged 94. French athlete Garnier breaks world record after climbing Eiffel Tower. And Spain court rejects appeals of release of Alves on bail. You are listening to Headlines Now News in detail. In his Eid message, President Joe Biden expressed his solidarity with those facing conflict, hunger, and displacement globally, specifically mentioning regions like Gaza and Sudan. Eid al-Fitr, celebrated on the first day of Shawwal, holds significant importance in the Islamic lunar calendar. Biden further emphasized the importance of renewing efforts towards peace building and advocating for the dignity of all people. In a post on X, he said, "As Muslim families and communities come together for Eid al-Fitr, they are also reflecting on the pain felt by so many. My thoughts are with those around the world enduring conflict, hunger, and displacement, including in places such as Gaza and Sudan. Now is the time to recommit to the work of building peace and standing for the dignity of all." President Joe Biden has said Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is making a mistake in his handling of the Gaza war and its repercussions inside Israel and internationally. "I think what he is doing is a mistake. I don't agree with his approach," Biden told Univision, a US-based Spanish-language television network, in an interview that aired late on Tuesday when asked whether Netanyahu was putting his own political survival before national interests. Biden also said it was outrageous that Israel targeted a convoy of US food charity World Central Kitchen in Gaza, killing 7-8 workers. "So what I'm calling for is the Israelis to just call for a ceasefire, allow for the next 6-8 weeks a total access to all food and medicine going into the country," he said, adding that other countries were ready to help as well. I have spoken to everyone from the Saudis to the Jordanians to the Egyptians. They are prepared to move this food in. There is no excuse to not provide for the medical and food needs of those people. It should be done now. The interview took place last week, shortly after the WCK8 workers were killed in an Israeli military attack. A New York judge on Wednesday sentenced former Trump Organization Chief Financial Officer Allen Weisselberg to 5 months in prison for lying about former U.S. President Donald Trump's finances. Judge Lori Peterson handed down the sentence at a brief hearing in Manhattan Criminal Court. It came after Weisselberg, 76, pleaded guilty last month to 2 counts of perjury in connection with a civil fraud lawsuit that New York State Attorney General Letitia James brought against Trump, Weisselberg, and other executives at Trump's family real estate company. James accused the company of inflating property values to mislead buyers and insurers. The former executive admitted that he lied when he testified that he had little knowledge of how company realtors came to list Trump's Manhattan penthouse on financial statements at nearly 3 times its actual size, manipulating the price. Asked if he wanted to address the court on Wednesday, Weisselberg, wearing a black windbreaker and a face mask, responded, "No, Your Honor." He was escorted out of the courtroom in handcuffs. The sentence represents the second stint behind bars for the former president's longtime deputy who worked for Trump's family for half a century. Weisselberg spent nearly 3 months in New York's Rikers Island jail in 2023 after pleading guilty to participating in a 15-year tax fraud scheme at the Trump Organization. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. The United States has transferred to Ukraine thousands of infantry weapons and more than 500,000 rounds of ammunition that were seized more than a year ago as they were being shipped by Iran to Houthi forces in Yemen. The U.S. military said the transfer was made on April 4, the latest military assistance that President Joe Biden's administration has provided to Kiev following Russia's full-scale invasion. Democrat Biden has been blocked from providing further U.S. weaponry to Kiev by Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson's refusal to call a vote on $60 billion in new security assistance. With Ukrainian forces running low on weapons and munitions, especially heavy artillery rounds, Washington and its allies have been searching for new ways to arm Kiev. Posting on social media platform X, the U.S. Central Command said the hardware included more than 5,000 AK-47 assault rifles, machine guns, sniper rifles, as well as more than 500,000 rounds of 7.62 ammunition. The munitions were taken from 4 stateless vessels intercepted by U.S. naval ships and those of partner forces which were not identified between May 22, 2021 and February 15, 2023, CENTCOM added. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis told donors and supporters at a private retreat last weekend that he plans to help raise money for Donald Trump's presidential campaign, according to three sources familiar with the matter. DeSantis told his allies about the move to help Trump during a private gathering Saturday at South Florida's Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, these people said. He did say it in front of a group of people at the Hard Rock, a DeSantis advisor told NBC News. The person emphasized that DeSantis had pledged to support Republicans up and down the ballot, including presidential, when he dropped his bid for president in January. DeSantis' remarks come after he was effectively in a political war with Trump, both before and since the governor dropped out of the presidential primary race. It remains unclear if Trump and his team want DeSantis to help them or have him as an ally, even though the governor did endorse Trump in January. President Joe Biden on Wednesday said that he is considering a request from Australia for the United States to end the prosecution of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. "We are considering it," Biden said in response to a shouted question by a reporter during a meeting with Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida at the White House. Assange was indicted on 17 charges of espionage and one charge of computer misuse over WikiLeaks' publication of classified U.S. files. American prosecutors said that he endangered lives when he aided U.S. Army intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning in unlawfully obtaining diplomatic cables and military files that WikiLeaks published. The Justice Department declined to comment on Biden's remarks. Manning was sentenced to 35 years in prison for giving classified information to WikiLeaks, but then President Barack Obama commuted her sentence after 7 years. She was later jailed for refusing to cooperate with grand juries investigating the documents. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Former President Donald Trump said Wednesday that the Arizona Supreme Court went too far in ruling the state's 160-year-old near-total abortion ban can be enforced. Trump made the comment while speaking to reporters after landing at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport ahead of a campaign fundraiser. "Yeah, they did," Trump said about the court's judges when asked if they went too far. "That will be straightened out, and as you know, it's all about its states' rights." The former president predicted that Arizona's governor and others are going to bring it back into reason. While he said the court overstepped, Trump also reiterated his position that the issue of abortion should be left up to states. "It's the will of the people," he said, adding that he would not sign a national abortion ban as president. Under the law from 1864, anyone who performs the procedure or helps a woman access that care could face felony charges and up to 2 to 5 years in prison. The law includes an exception to save the woman's life. Now it's time for global updates. Muslims around the world celebrated the Eid al-Fitr holiday Wednesday, marking the end of the holy month of Ramadan. But events were overshadowed by the worsening crisis in Gaza and Israel's expected military offensive in Rafah city after 6 months of war. We should not forget our brothers and sisters in Palestine, one Imam Abdul Rahman Musa said in Kenya's capital, Nairobi. They have been subjected to unjustified aggression and a lot of violence as the world is watching in silence. In a holiday message, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan sent support to Gaza, which he called a bleeding wound on the conscience of humanity. In Istanbul, some of the thousands of worshippers at the Hagia Sophia Mosque carried Palestinian flags and chanted slogans in support of residents of Gaza, where the United Nations warns that more than 1 million people are at threat of imminent famine and little aid is allowed in. In Indonesia, the world's most populous Muslim nation, nearly 3/4 of the population were traveling for the annual homecoming known locally as Mudik. Jakarta's Istiqlal Grand Mosque, the largest in Southeast Asia, was flooded with devotees. Preachers in their sermons called on people to pray for Muslims in Gaza. Israeli strikes hit Gaza on Wednesday as Muslims marked the end of the holy fasting month of Ramadan and after President Joe Biden labeled Israel's approach to the war a mistake. Palestinians gathered for morning prayers on the first day of the Eid al-Fitr holiday amid the ruins of Gaza, which has been devastated by more than 6 months of war since Hamas's October 7 attacks. Tens of thousands also flocked to Israeli-annexed East Jerusalem's Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, where one worshipper, Nurse Rawan Abdul, said, "It's the saddest Eid ever. You could see the sadness on people's faces. Usually we come to Al-Aqsa to celebrate. This year we came just to support each other," the 32-year-old said at Islam's third holiest site, which is also revered by Jews as the Temple Mount. Israeli forces kept up combat operations and airstrikes on Gaza a day after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed no let-up in the campaign to destroy Hamas and bring home the hostages. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest global updates. British physicist Peter Higgs, whose theory of a mass-giving particle, the so-called Higgs boson, jointly earned him the Nobel Prize for Physics, has died aged 94, the University of Edinburgh announced on Tuesday. He passed away peacefully at home on Monday, 8 April, following a short illness. The Scottish University, where he had been a professor for nearly 5 decades, said in a statement, "It called him a great teacher and mentor, inspiring generations of young scientists. His family has asked that the media and public respect their privacy at this time," the university added. Higgs used groundbreaking theoretical work to help explain how the universe has mass, thus resolving one of the greatest puzzles in physics and earning him a place alongside Albert Einstein and Max Planck in textbooks. His 1964 theory of a mass-giving particle, which became known as the Higgs boson or the God particle, won him and Belgian physicist François Englert the 2013 Physics Nobel Prize. The award followed experiments the previous year with the Large Hadron Collider at the European Organization for Nuclear Research that finally confirmed the theory nearly half a century after it was formulated. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 17,947.30. The NYSE Composite is decreased by 223.90 points or 1.23%. Tokyo stock close price is 39,581.81. The Nikkei 225 index decreased by 191.32 points or 0.48%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,027.33. The Shanghai index is decreased by 21.20 points or 0.70%. Hong Kong stock close price is 17,139.17. The Hang Seng Index is increased by 311.10 points or 1.85%. Bombay stock close price is 75,038.15. The Sensex Index is increased by 354.45 points or 0.47%. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. French athlete Anouk Garnier broke the rope climbing world record on Wednesday morning after she ascended 100 meters to the second floor of the Eiffel Tower. "I really did it," the 34-year-old asked through tears while throwing herself into the arms of her family, including her very proud mother. Equipped with a security cord, the two-time obstacle course world champion set off just moments earlier in front of dozens of people to climb one of Paris' most iconic landmarks. The objective beat previous marks held by South African Thomas van Tonder, who climbed 90 meters for the men's record, and Dane Ida Mathilde Stensgaard, who peaked at 26 meters for the women's record. After just 18 minutes of climbing compared to the 20 minutes initially estimated, she finally hit 100 meters. A Spanish court on Wednesday dismissed appeals against the provisional release on bail of former Brazil international footballer Dani Alves from jail while outing his conviction for rape. One of the world's most decorated footballers, Alves, was in February sentenced to 4.5 years in jail for raping a young woman in the VIP bathroom of a Barcelona nightclub in the early hours of December 31, 2022. But in a surprise move, a Barcelona court last month agreed to his request for provisional release while his appeal is heard if he posted bail of €1 million, handed over his Spanish and Brazilian passports, remained in the country and presented himself to court on a weekly basis. Alves, who had been behind bars since his arrest in January 2023, walked out of the Brians 2 prison in San Esteban Sastroviras near Barcelona on March 25 without speaking to the media. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. Time to recommit to work of building peace. President Joe Biden raises Gaza-Sudan conflicts in Eid message. Biden says Israel's Netanyahu making mistake on Gaza. Ex-Trump CFO Weisselberg gets 5 months in jail for perjury at fraud trial. US arms Ukraine with thousands of seized Iranian guns, rifles and munitions. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis privately tells donors he plans to fundraise for Trump. Biden says he is considering Australia's request to end Julian Assange's prosecution. Trump says Arizona abortion ruling went too far. Muslims worldwide celebrate Eid al-Fitr in the shadow of Gaza's misery. Israel bombs Gaza on saddest Eid day. Nobel-winning God particle physicist Higgs dies aged 94. French athlete Garnier breaks world record after climbing Eiffel Tower. And Spain court rejects appeals of release of Alves on bail. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel and visit our website. Our website address is www.millenniumnews24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.